Our topic today is air pollution. Take a look at this picture. Does it look a bit strange? This is a picture of London from 1952. During this time, London was experiencing a terrible fog that earned the name pea soup. This pea soup contained coal smoke and air pollution. It was so thick, it caused people to become ill and sick. People could not see their hands in front of their faces, and it burned people's lungs. This is the result of air pollution. This air pollution killed thousands. So what is air pollution? Air pollution is contamination of the environment from pollutants caused by humans and natural sources. You can be the cause of air pollution, and the environment around you can be the cause of air pollution. There are different types of pollutants. Let's first start by learning about primary pollutants. Primary pollutants are pollutants that are put directly into the air by humans or natural sources. Some examples of these would be dust, such as house dust, sea salt, volcanic gases, ash, smoke from forest fires, and pollen. All of these are considered primary pollutants. Now let's talk about secondary pollutants. Secondary pollutants occur when primary pollutants react with other primary pollutants or other naturally occurring substances, such as water vapor. It's not a direct pollutant, but combined with other parts of the environment, it becomes a secondary pollutant. Some examples of these secondary pollutants would be ozone. And when I say ozone, I really mean ground ozone. Ozone that is not where it's supposed to be. And smog. So let's look at this ozone. Look at the picture to the right of your screen. You'll see that up in the stratosphere, we have what we call the good ozone. It protects our environment. But down in the troposphere, we have the bad ozone. This ozone is very harmful for us. The stratosphere ozone protects Earth from the UV rays of the sun. Near the Earth's surface, the ozone is formed when sunlight reacts with vehicle exhaust. And this can be dangerous. If you'd like to learn more, check out the brain pop on the ozone layer. Smog. Smog forms when ozone and vehicle exhaust react with sunlight. This can be a big problem for big cities. So let's classify some of these pollutants. Smog, house dust, acid rain, pollen, soot, ground level ozone, volcanic ash. Which of these are primary pollutants and which are secondary pollutants? Pause this video for a moment and see if you can classify each pollutant correctly. Are you ready? Let's look at smog. Smog is a secondary pollutant. It uses two primary pollutants in order to create it. Let's look at dust. Dust is a primary pollutant. After all, it is primarily dead skin cells. Acid rain. We haven't discussed acid rain yet, but we will. Acid rain is very harmful for the environment as its pH level is not safe for the forest or people. Acid rain is a secondary pollutant. Pollen is a primary pollutant. Soot is a primary pollutant. Ground level ozone, definitely a secondary pollutant. And volcanic ash is a primary pollutant. Now let's look at the source of pollution. Point source pollution is a specific source of pollution that can be identified. All pollutions are identified or classified by how they enter a body of water. A point source pollution is directly discharged into water. Look at the picture to the right of the screen. You'll see that the sewage treatment plant is dumping toxins directly into the water. This is a point source pollutant. Now notice the runoff. We don't know where these pollutants are directly coming from. Therefore, they cannot be classified as point source pollution. They would be non-point source pollution, otherwise known as NPS. Pollution that comes from many different sources is known as NPS pollution. NPS pollution is caused by rainfall or snowmelt moving over and through the ground. NPS pollution can come from your neighborhood, city streets, the forest, crops, animals. Okay, now sources of human-caused air pollution. People cause pollution through their cars, industries, cleaning supplies. But how do we fix this problem? How do we clean up our air pollution? There is something known as the Clean Air Act. It allows the Environmental Protection Agency, known as the EPA, to control the amount of air pollution that can be released from any source, such as cars and factories. The EPA also regularly checks the air quality in communities. It requires many industries to use something we call scrubbers. Scrubbers are in smokestacks and remove particles such as ash and smoke. You can learn more about this from your brain pop on pollution. Okay. The Air Quality Index, also known as the AQI, is used to provide the public with daily air quality information. The AQI measures the air quality of an area with a value from 0 to 500. The higher the AQI, the higher the level of the air pollution. Once the AQI value is determined for a certain area, a level of health concern and color is also given. Preferably, the AQI level would be between 0 to 50. This is known as good. The color will be indicated by green. 51 to 100 is considered moderate, indicated by the color yellow. 101 to 150 is unhealthy for some people, but not all. It is indicated with the color of orange. 151 to 200 is considered unhealthy for everyone and is given the color red. An AQI of 201 to 300 is very unhealthy and is indicated with the color purple. And 301 to 500 is considered hazardous, and is given the color maroon. Now, I would also like for you to take a moment and do a little bit of research into acid rain. We're not going to take time in this video to cover it, but I would like for you to be able to look up what acid rain is. You can also learn more about acid rain in your brain pop on air pollution.